Hello, this is Malorian. We're now on to Game 3 of the Alberta GT tournament, and at this point, I'm doing okay. I'd like to have more points, but this next game here, I'm up against Paul Ting. This is a guy who runs the Warhammer tournament, and this should be an awesome game, except I'm still so sick. At this point, I've been puking, I'm getting the chills now. Playing against me, like I said, like normally I'm standing up, I'm engaging, and I'm just sitting down, right? I'm just sitting down there throwing dice. So, he's also feeling under the weather, so it won't really be like the high intensity game that you'd expect, but I'm sure we're still going to have a good game. What this one is actually the dawn attack scenario with a little bit of a twist. And what the twist is that normally it's 1 goes left, 2 goes right, blah, 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 6 you pick. Well, in this one, 1, your opponent chooses where it goes, 2 left, 3 right, 4 5 middle, 6 you get to choose. So a little bit of a change there. Might not always have a big deal. It's going to be a big deal this game, and let's see why. Alright, so looking here, this is what he has here on the left side, which is his Slan, his Temple Guard, some Skinks, and also a little character here. I think it's actually just a champ, I'm not sure. And then over here is everything else. And this is really what happened here, where either he was rolling 2s or 1s for everything, so everything's on the opposite side of the Slan. So he has an Ancient Stag, a regular Stag, 2 Salamanders, some more Skinks, and a big huge block of the Saurus. Then in the middle here, he had some Pterodons, decided to put the Chameleons here. And overall, this is what the board looks like. So yeah, sorry, there is a Priest with them on the left. There's also a Saurus BSB with them as well. But this is like a dream situation where he's a Laurel Light, but he has nothing he can really buff. I have him separated from his army, and all I need to go in there is just decide whether I'm going to crush the Slan or crush the army and just score a ton of points. So his first turn, he enters into the building. His, the Pterodons fly right in front of my war machines, but I'm sure with all my stuff, I should be able to blast it. And then in turn looks like this. And this is where we had our first little thing here, where these Stegodons are racing to my right. And that's something I'm not really used to, right? Usually the Stegodons are staying back with the Saurus and, that type of thing. But the Ancient Stegodon marched up and did its little super shot thing to my Wolf Riders, and I thought that's not how that works, right? You can't march and shoot. Well, it turns out this one is. So that's, it's one of these things where you always learn something new, and this really changes the dynamics of how this Stegodon works. So otherwise, on my turn, what I'm basically doing is I'm putting up the pressure with the Savages and the Black Orcs on the right. The Trolls are kind of going either way, where they're threatening the guys on the left, or can quickly swing over to the right. Really what happened is I shot into the Pterodons, didn't panic them though, so didn't do as many wounds as I thought, didn't panic them, so that's a real fail. So I'm going to start losing my war machines. And plus, when I was shooting my rock lobas at the Stegodons, scatter, scatter, you know the deal. And so that's pretty crappy. So I'll just have to kind of deal with this for now. But hey, I still got a pretty good situation here. So his turn, he starts moving his Salamanders to my flanks. The Chameleons are there to redirect. And man, are my Black Orcs taking a pounding. Normally I think my Black Orcs are going to be golden. They're just going to go in there and smash Stegodons. But look, I've almost lost half the unit now. And they're basically combat ineffective. And the worst thing is I thought, hey, if things go bad for the Black Orcs, hey, I can always go into the building. However, at this point, he's already basically taken the building. So, yeah, my Black Orcs are in a lot of trouble. And I'm in the middle of a forest. So, over here, the Pterodons destroy my Doom Diver and go off the board. I was hoping they wouldn't quite overrun that far and I'd destroy it with a chariot, but hey, not always that lucky. Otherwise, what's happening over here is, oh, this is ridiculous. The Black Orcs do a swift reform to turn back and start going away. I fail the swift reform. Then I decide I'm going to redirect him with the Wolves. Well, I run up there, trip on the little fence there that you see there. That's where I have a guy. So I flee after I lose the one model, go over the forest, and my last guy's going to die too. So things are really going to hell over here. Otherwise, it really looks like this. I had to go into chameleons, killed them, and really now looking at this, I'm thinking, hey, the right side screwed. Let's go over to the left. So that's where my trolls are pushing. My chariot's going back over there. I try shooting some shots into there. Of course, everything misfires or scatters. But now instead of saying like, okay, I'm just going to keep this land in place and crush the right, now I'm kind of going back over to the left. His turn, he comes back over here with his pterodons. That releases a fanatic and doesn't quite go far enough. Otherwise, it looks like this. So he could have easily charged my black orcs and finished them off. Decided not to. Just got kind of closer, shooting me up and having fun. My turn here, and I kind of go and change. Well, okay, black orcs are still trying to run away. I turn around, trying to shoot off these pterodons. Can't do it. There's still one goddamn pterodon there. I've changed my mind again. Savages are still now going towards the building because I figure, hey, I'll get 30 attacks from them, only 9 attacks from trolls. Trolls have turned around to try and help on the right flank. Shooting and stuff is still useless. I just can't take down these stegodons. Photogork is non-existent. His turn, again, he could have probably charged into my black orcs, but he's just kind of racing up there. And so, yeah, it's just, they're just kind of all over me here. Yeah, he's shooting up my savages. Savages dying like crazy. He's now into my rock lava, and it's going to die soon. My turn over here. My black orcs are hopefully going to go kill the stegodon. Oh, look, it's a failed stupidity test. So, no killed stegodon for me. Otherwise, what's happening here is I was able to kill off the top howdah of the stegodon, so that's something. Savages have also given up, so they've turned back around to the right. Again, can't get off any Photogork war machines, just able to kill some skinks so far. Man, I tell you, it's a bad situation. Alright, his turn. He's now killed the black orcs. He's killing off more of my savages like crazy. I now have Temple Guard coming out and threatening my rear. My side, yeah, the savages, they're just basically screwed, so they're just standing there hoping not to die. The trolls finally go and kill a stegodon. His turn, he fails a charge with his Temple Guard, so that's pretty nice. Otherwise, again, just shooting up more savages. And then finally on my turn, I try and do some charges here. Well, okay, I have a failed animosity that doesn't help things. He has double fleas away from my savages to stop that. And then I go into a Saurus, beat him up, but he is steadfast. So there you have it, a really rough game. Pretty sure I was getting my butt kicked the whole time. Luckily, because of killing those stegodons at the end, I managed a 10-10 tie. I forgot to mention it in Battle Report, but I finally got Photogork to go off, and I just had to use it to slam to finally, after like 7 stomps, kill one salamander. That's all I got Photogork with. But man, it was freaking rough. Looking back at this, it's actually almost embarrassing that I lost this game because I had the perfect situation. You know, Paul's always a great friendly guy, but even he was pissed off with his deployment and the way that this worked out. And it's one of these things where, you know, this can always happen with meeting engagement, or sorry, dawn attack anyway, but especially when you add in that extra thing where on a 1, your opponent gets to pick where it goes, you can really have these silly situations. Really, the real thing that happened here is that I was indecisive. And, you know, I don't know if, like, is Malorian going to be pulling out the sick card? I don't know. You know, the main thing here is I'm never an indecisive player, right? I figure out on something I'm going to do, and I just kind of go for it. And in this thing, I was like, okay, I'm going to go for this side. Maybe I'll go back after this. Okay, now turn around to here. And really what happened was that my savages and trolls were just looking back and forth, while my black orcs got their butts kicked. And in the end, it was just a really huge mess. So, you know, that's how the kind of game went. Really, what I should have done looking back is going after this land, was not going to happen. With him being there in a building, that meant that, he can either take it for a little while, he's only having the combat on the one side, and if ever it looks bad, okay, I leave the building and I go behind it. So killing them was never going to be an option. Remember that I deployed first, so if I had it my way, the savages would be over there just saying, you stay in that building or else we're going to charge you, while the trolls and the black orcs were going to go after the right side. That's what I should have done. All magic and Foot of Gork going that way. But hey, like I said, I deployed first. Again, it's not like my deployment was as screwed up as his anyway. But either way, given what the deployment was, I should have at least said, okay, trolls, your whole job is just to make sure that slan stays there. Everything else is going to get the points from the other side. That's what I should have really done. Of course, also knowing the rules, having that Stegodon ripping off to my flank. Hey, She-Ra, do you think I did okay, or do you think it was a pretty bad game?
I think you did okay.
Oh, I don't know, She-Ra. I think it was a pretty bad game. But either way, with that now, just a 10 out of 10. I've really fallen down the rankings. I don't know if I'm even going to come back the next day because I'm feeling so sick. I'm just going to go home, go to sleep, and hey, let's find out if there's another battle report or if it's going to be something saying something else. Spoiler, there's another battle report.